Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is Joey Galvez, one half of your host of Explain Yourself, and I want to let you guys know about a really cool book from our friend of the show, Eli Shockey. This one is called The Greylock, and it's a story where magic is a commodity. Potions are sold at corner stores. Orcs and dwarves earn a living in cubicles, not on the battlefields. But there are those who resist the house's magic's laws. Branded a criminal and forced to live as a wand for hire, there is a spell slinger they call the Greylock. Check this one out. You guys can pre-order issue 3 right now with code JAN241939, and make sure you guys are heading over to your favorite LCS and letting them know that you want Greylock number 3, and maybe pick up the first 2 issues. You could do that at the Scout web store. So make sure you guys are grabbing the Greylock number 3, JAN241939 at previewsworld.com.
Okay, everybody, welcome to the latest episode of All Too Real 2. My name is Michael E. Cullen II, and with me as always is
Sesame Backyard Organic Farms Matter and Carta.
Okay. I sound very concerned.
Okay.
Just in general.
Oh, alright.
And I don't know why I do.
It's just one of those feelings, like a sort of tingle on your spine or your head or whatever.
My superhuman powers, because I'm concerned, man. That's my superhero identity.
Your concerned man is the Peter tingle, is what they call it? No.
Yes, that's what it is. No.
The concerned man is superpowers, like whenever you just feel like there's like a... I think they actually had characters like that, though, that were empathetic, empath.
Yeah.
Well, you already get that with...
Oh, I'm not empathetic at all. I'm just concerned. No, I'm joking.
Oh, you're just concerned. Okay. You're just concerned, man.
There's a difference, I think.
You don't have like the abilities of, like, let's say Cecile does in The Flash. You just have like a concern. Like, oh, I feel concerned about something. That's my power. Mm-hmm. Like, about what? Not really sure yet. Just something's going to happen.
I never solve any problems or anything. I just am concerned about them.
Yeah.
Yep. I think we should get on that movie, man. Anyway, so...
yeah.
It's going to be released by Marvel next year.
Oh, God.
With a lot of plot holes and good action. Anyway, so the... Dr. Concerned Man.
Dr. Concerned. Wow. Oh, God.
So the reason I'm concerned is the fact that I chose to watch this sitcom that we're covering for this episode.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
It was really, honestly, one of the worst I've seen.
Yeah, and the low hum sound in the background didn't help, but that had nothing to do with the show itself.
No.
It was just converted or whatever, but that really did kind of sort of just like I guess accentuate how terrible the show was. Just
to accentuate the negative.
Yeah.
Eliminate the positive.
Yeah.
Wait.
Wait, what?
I took the song and I mixed the lyrics up on purpose. So,
but terrible show. Oh my God.
So yeah, what we're covering is the series premiere of the TV show Kristin, starring Kristin Chenoweth, and it premiered on June 5th of 2001 and was canceled on July 10th of 2001. After 6 episodes had been screened out of the 13 that they produced. Yeah.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. It was a situation comedy. I mean, maybe it got better as the show went on. I don't know. But what happens in the? Or actually, what's your first? What's your like hot take on this?
Hot take. I mean, there's nothing hot about it. It's just just boring, unfunny, uninspiring. Just the jokes fell flat. The laughter came in like always, like a second or millisecond too late. Just everything about it was just bad. The acting was pretty horrible. For most of the people, maybe not Kristin. Even her acting wasn't that great in the episode. But then again, how can you make the show good? I mean, so just didn't like it. Plus, too, it's because our friend Larry was in the show, which I'm not too happy with. So that kind of put a little dent into it. So
he's our second favorite, Larry, and
yeah,
after the cable guy.
Oh yeah.
And
no, Larry Romano. By the way, he's not related to.
Oh yeah, I
Ray
know.
Romano.
Yeah, he's not at all.
In case anyone was wondering. Like oh cool, Romano. Maybe like nope, they're not related. And it's a good thing that they're not related actually.
But yeah, we'll get into him soon.
Yeah.
So, what happens in this show here?
What happens in this piece of footage put to film is that this guy is like a businessman or something, or he's like the mayor. Don't remember exactly what he is, but
I think he's like a real estate agent or not real estate, like real estate guy, like, because in his office he has a bunch of shovels hanging up on the wall like you do when you break ground. So he's like a like
a Trump kind of character, like
something like that,
a light Trump. So basically, what happens is, Kristin, she wants to be like Broadway like person, like dancing, doing singing, acting. So she fails her audition and she's about to just go home to Oklahoma where she comes from, but then simultaneously what's happening is that the rich business guy has a bunch of like scandals going on because apparently he's been like sexually harassing all of his assistants. So we kind of got that.
Yes, and this character's name is Tommy Ballantyne.
That's right, Ballantyne.
Acted by John Tenney, Tenney. If I'm pronouncing that wrong, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
To somebody.
He seems somewhat familiar, but and so his fixer is like Larry Romano. He's like the guy who's like telling him to like, you gotta calm down, you gotta do things by the book, you can't keep being the playboy, whatever, type of thing. And the business guy is like, no, I'm gonna do what I want or whatever. And then Larry's like, oh well, we found your new assistant, we got her from a church, her minister somehow got the job for her. I don't know how that happened, but okay. And then
they probably just went to some random church and be like, hey, give us somebody that's not gonna be a temptation to Mr. Ballantyne here.
But what a weird request, though. But anyway, so apparently this church is like, sure, we'll just send one of our own, which is weird though to think about it, because it's like you're sending one of your own to like a known predator, basically. Like, like, oh, this guy's got tons of scandals where he's sexually harassed like all of his assistants. Let's just send one of our own.
You know what might have been a good idea to do?
What?
Hire a straight man as your assistant?
Yeah. But no, that wouldn't make sense for whatever reason. So, so she shows up, and she becomes like the face of morality in the show because he wants to cut corners and he wants to do this and that, and she won't break, any of her morals. Like the very first thing to me was kind of ridiculous, but whatever. So the very first thing that he wants her to do that like breaks her moral code is to make 3 reservations to 3 separate restaurants, and that he's only going to choose one of them because he's not sure yet which restaurant that he wants to eat at. So she's like, oh, I can't do that because that means that 2 of those restaurants are going to have a reservation, and then that means that someone else can't eat there that night. I'm like, really? Like, I mean, I know it's kind of mean, but like, really, you're already taking a hard line like immediately for that. Whatever. Okay, fine.
And usually, if somebody doesn't show up by a certain amount of time, they give the reservation to somebody else, anyways.
Exactly.
In most
so
restaurants.
that that was kind of like unbelievable to me. Like, really, seriously, you're gonna fine. So then she basically like talks him down to like 1. So it's like, oh, so we're already getting started. She's like infecting him with her morality already. Let's see how this goes, type of thing. And then oh, by the way, so he's got this creepy 2-way mirror where he can see his assistant from outside.
Yeah, you can see the lobby and her and everything in there.
So it's creepy, right there, where you could just watch someone.
Yeah, very Trumpian.
Very Trumpy. I think they kind of probably base this off him a little bit, like just a little, like a light, version of Trump.
Well, he even gets a phone call from Mayor Giuliani at one point.
That's right, he did. So yeah, I'm almost guaranteed they probably base this off of him a little bit. Yeah, that's right. Like get Giuliani on the line or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then like our boy Larry, is like, unlike the real Larry in real life, who's a terrible person, in the show, he's actually kind of like...
He's the voice of reason, actually.
He is the voice of reason, unlike in real life, which he's the voice of...
And I will tell you, I do like his character's name for some reason.
Okay.
Aldo Bonadonna.
That's right, yeah.
I don't know why, but I thought it was a funny name, so it's a good name.
So you got that going on. I think before that you had the stereotypical token black character came in. This is early 2000s, so you had to have... Yeah, you either had to have a black guy with dreadlocks, or like a black guy in like a suit and tie. Like that. Those were like you had to have that one character, and then like who has like 2 lines and then just leaves and then doesn't come back for the rest of the show. And they're like, oh, we're tolerant, whatever we did, kind of thing. That was sort of the formula back then or whatever, even to this day a little bit actually. Yeah. But which shows that much hasn't really changed. But anyway, so he leaves and he like walks like away like in a sort of swagger, like because you have to do that too, and to like just I don't know, just dehumanize the person. I guess I don't know what the intention would be, but whatever. And then because TV is such a great non-racist, non-sexist enterprise. But anyway,
there's never been an issue or a problem in the history of television.
No. Talk to Harvey Weinstein about that. Anyway, so this guy kind of wants to be.
Who is this you speak of?
What's that?
Who is this you speak of?
Yeah, who is this? Yeah, Harvey. I don't know. The guy who produced Air Bud, apparently. One of the best movies of all time, mind you.
Oh yeah.
So she. I mean, what else happens, dude? Like, I don't remember. Something about. Oh yeah, the guy. Well, can you talk about the guy who brings the Cuban cigars? Because I'm kind of.
I guess so. At one point, there's a guy that brings Cuban cigars, and she basically says she won't let him buy them because they're illegal. So he then whispers into the guy later on that he, wants to buy him at home, but the whole time he's trying to win over Kristin's character. Kristin Yancey is her character's name. Yeah, trying to win her over.
Yancey, that's right. We had Yancey as a character in another movie, the Sleepover movie.
Oh, did we?
That was her first name, was Yancey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did have another character who I wasn't sure. She was like another, like, worked in another office or was a businesswoman in another office. It wasn't really made clear.
Yeah.
Whose name was Santa, not Santa.
Yeah, they made a big deal about that.
Mm-hmm. Played by Anna Ortiz. We also had a bike messenger who is also one of the main characters of the show, I guess. Played by Dale Godboldo, who played Tyreek Kimbrough.
That's the guy I was talking about. Yeah, he was wearing weird shit too. It looked like stuff from like a Mad Max film.
Oh, I know.
Like, what are you wearing, dude? Like you know?
And then here's when we're talking. I'm on the cast right now, so I'm reading this. Something interesting. There's a reverend character that wasn't in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Who is the reverend of the Baptist church that she belongs to?
Okay.
Reverend Thornhill, played by playwright Christopher Durang, who is like a Tony Award-winning playwright.
Interesting.
I don't really know him as much as an actor, but I've acted in some scenes and stuff from his plays before. So
now you got the 6 degrees of separation thing, or
well, I mean, never met the guy or anything, but you know.
No, right? Yeah, never mind.
I just acted in some of his stuff when I was in college, when I was in my theater classes. So
yeah, I always get that thing mixed up, the 6 degrees or whatever. So I guess he is a regular character, not just a one-off. So that's good. At least he gets more screen time.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it's not going to be. It probably is going to be stereotypical stuff, but whatever. And then, so Cuban cigars. No, but then he's gonna buy them. From home
and he's trying to overdo this whole like goody type of thing because now he's actually attracted to Kristin,
like he is to all of his female assistants.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, why wouldn't you be? Kristin Chenoweth is hot, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, but it's like, dude, like.
But what I'm saying is that the premise of this show is just bad. It
is. That was horrible. So he like puts his hand on her shoulder, and then she quote gives him the look. That was a big thing in the late '90s, early 2000s. Like,
well, it still is.
If a female gives you a look, then that means go ahead, which is not problematic at all. And you know, you don't need consent because someone looked at you a certain way. So therefore, go at it, go for it. I mean, it's just fucked up. You think about how popular that trope was in the mid to late '90s and early 2000s. Like for like 10 straight years, probably 20 if you really think about it. So many guys were literally just taught from media, if a girl looks at you a certain way, just go for it. Like, I mean, like, and it's like, wow.
Well, the thing is, I think it's still a trope. It's not even gone.
It's not
maybe not as pronounced, but it's still a trope, and it's still something people believe. So it's like,
it's because the whole idea of like, you know, like some people go really hardcore into like evolution, like, oh well, every mammal has like a mating signals and blah blah blah, and it's like, okay, there might be some truth to that in like a very abstract kind of way. I mean,
obviously, if somebody likes you, they're gonna be nice to you, but not everybody that's nice to you likes you that way.
Right.
You know, that's the problem that comes into play. It's where there's like a either or sort of thing. Like, well, if this person is nice to me, that means that he or she likes me in that way, especially she, you know, it's like, oh, a girl talked to me, that means that, you know, we're gonna get married now,
right,
or at least we're gonna, you know, do it, you know, whatever. It's just, that's not reality, because sometimes people are just nice, you know, because like if my guy friend is nice to me, I'm not thinking, hey, maybe he has a crush on me,
right?
But But usually a lot of guys are like that with, their female, coworker is nice to them, so that means that they're in love with them.
Right. I did actually see something interesting about that, though, too, not to get too sidetracked, but, like, where it said, like, one of the possible reasons for that, again, one of them, doesn't mean that it's all-encompassing, so just before anyone gets the ideas, like, oh, you're saying it's because of this, no, one reason out of maybe hundreds, okay, is that guys tend to not really give each other compliments very often or show like affection. So when like a woman shows that, so it's like a double thing. So like, let's say if you're a heterosexual guy, so you're not attracted to men anyway, and you're not really getting affection from said people. Now all of a sudden you're getting affection for someone that you do find attractive, and you're not used to getting that kind of attention. So it's like a 2-for-1 type of thing, So like, I could see that from like that perspective of like, oh, well, she must really like me. It's like, no, just calm down. Like, maybe, but just, let's.
It's not out of the realm of possibilities, but it's not the definitive answer.
And that's why I say it's probably one thing. Because I know we live in a world now where two things can't be true at the same time, or multiple things can't be. So it can only be one or the other. But hate to break it to anyone who might be listening. Multiple things can be true at the same time. I know it sucks, but it's reality. Get over it. It's fine. Anyway, but so yeah, he tries to
like you can hate white supremacists and also be mad at somebody that was black that killed somebody too.
Oh yeah, of course.
Anyway, so
that's
yeah. So
we'll get into that later.
So yeah, what else happens here?
So after she, quote, gives him the look in his words, he basically he sets out his plan to, be a good guy, because that's what, quote, makes her hot. That's again his words, not mine. And then so he this is during the same day, mind you. So like I assumed this was going throughout the whole work week. This is all happened in one day. So So he like shows her some check or something, and like 5% of like the earnings are going to go to some like charity for like premature babies or something like that.
Yeah, and he said that he was premature.
I was a preemie or whatever, and he's like, you know what? Let's make it 10% or whatever, and then like she pretends to like seduce him, and then it turns out it's because she knew that he was trying to play her, and he's like, how do you know that? And he's like, you did this two nice things in one day. You got to spread that stuff apart, or spread it whatever throughout the week.
My question with this writing wise, she barely knows this guy.
Yeah,
I mean, she may know his reputation, but still, maybe this is what he actually is like, and she's just overreacting to it now. On her end, I'm not saying that she is, but what I'm getting at is the fact is maybe the guy was a closeted nice guy, and she doesn't know this, and now she's chastising him. And if he were, for example, maybe then that would turn him into a not nice guy.
Yeah, so then it rebounds. Yeah,
yeah.
And then, it's like, God damn it, no. And then so like she does like this weird, awkward like. Not even a lap dance. I don't even know what you'd even call it. Just a weird, sexy dance. Like,
yeah,
I know. And then like God, some of the dialogue. He's like, "You're a very clever Christian." Like, who wrote that? It's like that's just a weird thing to say. Like I never heard anyone say that ever. Or like, you're a very clever Christian. Like,
well, that's the name of my punk band.
You're a very clever Christian.
Yeah.
So also what I want to talk about. Hope I'm not like yelling too loud in the phone.
Oh no, you're good.
So one of the other things I want to talk about was that this also had commercials in the video, so we got to see like the commercials that were actually aired at the time.
Okay.
And like I got to the point where like
I fast forwarded through some of them, so I'm really curious what you watched. So
like I thought some of the commercials were actually more entertaining than the actual show it was. Also too, because there's like a stretch of like 4 commercials in a row that just the way, like the order that they were in were like so ironic, but like hilarious at the same time. So like, so one of them was like, it was kind of near the end, like the last like 5 or 7 minutes of the show, or the video, the YouTube video. And the first commercial was a AOL, and it was like, get the new edition of AOL or whatever, and like all these people are like, you can easily like share photos, or even if you like, no matter what kind of camera you got, and it shows like one of those like 2001 kind of cameras or whatever, and then like some teenager, he's like, yeah, like I can just like put like my family photos in the album or whatever, and just easy click or whatever. And then at the very end, they show like this like woman like on like computer, but like outside, like near like the beach, like in like some like beach home, like in like, you know, like this great view, and it's like, but it was like a full on computer. It's like, it's one thing to like have your laptop out on like
she had like a desktop.
Like an actual desktop computer like outside. So it's like, okay, so you had to go get like a lead cord, like an extension cord or something, and then hook that up, and then carry the big ass monitor place. I mean, like, who would do that? But anyway, that was 2001 for you. That was like the peak of luxury. No one complained about. See, that's the thing. We've become so spoiled now as a society that like back then that was like, hey, who cares if I gotta carry this huge monitor so I could go on the computer for like an hour and then take the whole thing back inside the house. You know, I get my hour of peace where I get to be on the computer outside. It's pretty awesome. 2001 was a simpler time. By the way, this was like, 2 months before 9/11 happened. So,
oh my gosh, it was.
So that was like a period of optimism that was very soon to be wiped away. But anyway, so and then the next one right after that though. So the irony. So, it's talking about like people sharing like their family photos and stuff like that. And the very next commercial is a Subway commercial with Jared.
Oh my god!
And like, so like, my brother and I, he said like, oh my god, it's like pre-pedo Jared, and I'm like, I don't think it was really pre. I think it was just
during.
So, you know, like
pre-convicted pedo, not.
And then after that, I think there was like a Tomb Raider, not for the movie, but some Tomb Raider was involved. I don't know if it was like a.
I saw one. I saw one. There was like a commercial for basketball and for Tomb Raider at the same time.
Yes, what it was. And then the one after that, and my brother was saying we should go review this one, was a TV show called Go Fish.
I was going to bring that up to you because I really want to cover that.
That actually looks better than the actual show we just watched. It was a commercial.
I found the pilot online, so we will cover that for a future episode.
Good, because we were both thinking the same thing. Like, oh god, we gotta cover this.
Yeah.
Like, but and so yeah, that to me that was better than the show. Honestly, just watching the old commercials. We got to see Jared before it was revealed that he was a monster. We got to see the woman chilling out on her full desktop computer outside sunset, like in Tahiti or some shit. And
it was it was pre 9/11 America and pre Jared being caught with 9 and 11-year-olds.
Oh, wow! Boom.
I went there. Anyway, so
which is not a laughing matter, by the way.
Not at all. Not at all.
But it was still a good joke. Anyway,
yes.
Again, both things be true at once.
Yes.
Got to get used to that, guys.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's hard, but just got to get
that
used to it.
That was not a pro joke. That was
no. So that's it. That's the show. That was pretty much it. Larry played a very minimal, unimportant role in it, just like his life is pretty unimportant.
And this is the reason that Larry Romano left King of Queens.
For this, which was a great decision for America. Really, it was actually, because it took him out of the limelight. Well, not really the limelight, but whatever. The dim light that he sort of shares a little bit from other people. And
yes.
Anyway, yeah.
Do you want to take a break right now?
Sure.
Yeah, we'll come back and maybe talk some more about this and some other things. We'll be right back.
DJ Remy, host of No Outlet Live. If you're in a podcast that explore any and everything, check us out. We stream anywhere you listen or watch podcasts, or just type No Outlet Live, one word, in your Google search bar to find the show. Live Saturdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on Facebook. No Outlet Live, your road to boredom ends here. Do you like Tessa? Do you think this will be a date that can last?
Well, she's not very articulate.
And we are back.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Matt, Sesame,
Yep.
whatever your name is.
Sesame.
Yeah. Aldo Bonadonna, that's your name, right? No, I'm joking.
Sure. Yeah.
Tyreek Kimbrough.
Sure. That's
Santa Clemente.
I like that name, actually. Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
Santa, yeah.
Okay, so, anyways. Yeah, so we basically went over the whole plot, right?
Yeah, I mean, that was it. It was pretty much it. I mean, it wasn't much to it.
Okay, so as far as reviews go for this, they actually got some good reviews and user reviews on the Internet Movie Database.
Interesting.
I'm not going to read it, but this is like the first one says, she's great, the show isn't. Oh, that's a bad one. Never mind. So, yeah. Another one, adorable new comedy. This is from Countess M, back in June 5th of 2001, back when this came out. I just saw the premiere of Kristin, and was really impressed. They could have made it sappy or too cynical, but it was great. It was a great balance between the two. The stars had a great feel for their roles, and their characterizations were fun to watch. I'd recommend it as a great new show to keep your eye on.
Nope, disagree.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, it's 2001, so maybe at that time, maybe it was...
I'll just give you this. It was on the same night, I think, right after Frasier.
Oh, jeez.
Which, I mean, regardless of anything you think of anybody involved in that show or anything of that nature, that show has not dated. It's a good show to this day. It's still funny.
Crazy.
Still one of the. It's probably the best spin-off sitcom in the history of television. And you would watch Frasier and then watch this, or vice versa, and there's no comparison between the two, in my opinion. Which brings me to my next review here.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the best shows air during the summer. Luzerne 1, Luzerne, the number 1, wrote this on the premiere night. I was very impressed with Kristin. It was a show that could hope make NBC a better network.
Okay.
With a lot of 30-minute shows boring, this one made sense. Forget Frasier, this show belongs on the list. You want TV to be different and interesting? One thing that needs to go is a serious reduction in Dateline, which I find useless. In short, give Kristin Snatched an 83 out of 100, and it's small little wonder. Here's to the summer. I'm not understanding half of the order of the words in this sentence, but yeah.
83 out of 100, really? No. No.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even give it 30 out of 100. But then again, this was when it came out, so maybe I'm trying to put myself in the 2001 mindset, what I would be doing in the summer of 2001.
Well, here's one that came out that same month. It's called Another NBC Failure. This is from ABDNJ. This was written in June 19th of 2001. I'm sorry. After seeing Kristin for the first time, I couldn't believe a show of such low caliber is on the same network as Ed and Frasier. That's another thing. Ed is on the same time.
Ooh.
You know,
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
that was a good
Yeah.
show.
Something else I was shocked to learn is that the title character is actually a Tony winner. Now, you would think that someone who has won such a prestigious award would know a flop from something new and fresh. But in this case, I guess not. It did, however, make one list with flying colors, and that is the list of NBC's failed experiments, scoring a 1 out of 10, the same as Cursed and the Michael Richards Show.
That's right. We reviewed that one.
Mm-hmm.
The Michael Richards. Yeah.
Yes. So
Wow.
those are some of the reviews from the Internet Movie Database. There's only like 7 of them, and I'm not going to read them all. And
Yeah, we don't need to go through all of
so any final thoughts here?
About
Related
the show itself. or
related to
about-
the show or the actors involved?
I don't know how much to say. So I'll say this much. Okay, so to your credit, 'cause I don't think I have this. I don't have this amount of patience, but to your credit, you're able to have people on your page that are just the most. I would consider to be most atrociously horrible people possible, and I would just block them immediately. I can't. But you keep them on somehow, and you somehow,
For a while. I am
For
no
a while.
longer I'm no longer Facebook friends with this person. So
No, I know, but I'm saying like immediately I'd hit the block button. But you keep them on for a little bit longer, so you got more patience than I do. But anyway, so this guy Larry Romano, the actor that was like the voice of
Played
of reason,
Aldo.
and
Aldo
the voice of-
Bonadonna,
Mhm.
Donna Bana or whatever it is. Yeah.
It's not at all it's like a stereotypical name or anything
Yeah.
like that. But so he was like he played like the voice of reason in this show. He's kind of like he's basically kind of like the guy to stop the other dude from going too far, basically. So he's there to be like his angel sitting on his right shoulder. Well, that would hurt.
His Jiminy Cricket.
Yeah, basically. And he also had a bit role in King of Queens that he still talks about to this day because it's like the last time that he's actually.
He doesn't talk about this show that often.
No, I wonder why. But anyway, so he played the guy in King of Queens. If you remember that show that ended 15 years ago. Anyway, had like 9 seasons, whatever. But yeah, the show ended 15 years ago, and he was only in the first 2 seasons. So we're talking 23 years. Anyway, quarter of a century. Anyway, 25% of a century, and he played a bit role in King of Queens for the first 2 seasons, where he occasionally would hang out in the garage with Doug and them, and he was always like played like the womanizer guy, like bag him and pass him. I can't even.
He was almost like a generic Joey from Friends.
Kind of, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He kind of had a look sort of like him, not really, but enough. And so, like, that was like his whole deal was like, womanizer. Like, I don't date women. I just sleep with them and I move on because I'm a tough real man, type of thing. But the twist was, he was gonna do that with Doug's sister, but then he actually turned out that he actually liked Doug's sister. But spoiler alert, she was just using him for sex. What? And then
You remember way too much about the show. Anyways,
I remember a lot of stuff, dude. It's just how it works. But, so then he was all like dejected, like, wait a minute, this is how it feels like, to be treated this way? And it's like, yeah, because you lack empathy just like you do in real life. And people like that, are the people that have to touch the hot stove to know that it's hot because they're too stupid to just abstractly understand I shouldn't put my hand in fire. But there's some people out there that's not enough. They gotta put their hand in the fire and be like, ouch, that hurts. But then they'll probably forget the lesson in a week anyway, and they're just gonna do it all over again. But anyway, so this guy, probably speaking of playing with fire, probably playing with fire even talking about him. But so he went on Mike's page and just went on this weird rant, like a lot of these right-wing. By the way, you have a lot of right-wing actors on your page. I there's like this like theory that like actors are all liberals. I don't know, because see, like almost 90% of the actors on your
Well,
page are like.
I don't know. I mean, I actually, it's a more majority of the other way.
Oh, I
My
don't know.
my
It seems
friend,
like that, but-
my friends list is hidden, so it's kind of hard to
Oh, okay.
see all who I have. Yeah.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
So so you had a post on your page about a white supremacy rally that was going outside. Is it okay if I mention that? Or
yeah, it's down the street from my house. So
and so like they had like, well, you tell it. It's not fair for me to tell your story.
yeah, I know.
What happened.
Basically, yeah, and then he started kind of almost defending them. I'm not going to get into the specifics. If you want to, Matt, you can, because I don't have them in front of me. But
that's fine.
yeah, he started defending them, so that's where that went. Okay, any final thoughts here?
No, that's just everything I've said. It's just not a good show. Don't watch it. I mean, go ahead and watch it if you want to, but it's not funny. It's not clever. Maybe it gets better throughout the next 5 episodes, but I couldn't find any of them online, so I don't know. But
Probably not worth it. Unless you're a big Kristin fan, it's not worth it.
yeah, hardcore Kristin or Christian, whichever, because she does play a Baptist in the show. But but there was one line though that did strike me was really weird, where he's like, how did you learn how to do that dance or whatever? And she's like, oh well, people might not realize it, but your spirituality is connected to your sensuality, and I'm a very spiritual person. And I'm like, that's like something you would never hear a Baptist say.
No.
like I mean, I don't know, but like,
Well, maybe some, just not this character.
if they're married,
Yeah.
But like, wouldn't be saying it as a single, whatever.
Yeah.
Not like
not the character that they painted for us, at least.
No. And that was it. That was the show. And then, our boy Larry was in it, and
Yeah.
he decided to ditch King of Queens for this. He took the big shot. Was gonna for a home run. Babe Ruth style.
I mean,
just didn't work out.
I can say all I want bad about him, but I mean, I guess at the time, King of Queens was only 2 seasons in. You couldn't forecast it being one of the longest running sitcoms in history.
No. And I don't know what the ratings were at that time either.
And who knows if they would have written him off anyways, because they did write off other characters. So, and then brought in other characters like Patton Oswalt's character and other people. So yeah,
Right.
it may have been the best choice for his career at the time. So who knows? Still does not change the fact that he was defending white supremacists on my Facebook, and I unfriended him. That's the moral of that story.
But he could probably still see your post though.
Oh yeah.
Right, because your stuff's public, so he could still probably monitor you, like, oh, let's see what he's writing today, or whatever.
And he might, who knows? And if he does, and if you're listening to this podcast, Larry, and you'd want to come on, let us know.
I don't.
Maybe not.
I don't think I want to interview. You could do that one alone.
Oh, I definitely will. I definitely would. But anyways, But
just be a better person, Larry. Just be a better person.
Everybody be a better person.
Everyone, not just him, but just don't be so angry all the time about everything. Okay? Really. I've seen some of your videos. You don't look too good, and I don't mean that as an insult about your physical appearance. I mean you look unhealthy. In all seriousness, you look like you're not doing well, and that might contribute a little bit to some of your anger, maybe because you don't feel good. So maybe get checked out or something. I don't know, but try something.
I mean, have a V8 today, man. Have a V8 today, and and wear a condom.
Well,
wait,
yeah,
everybody. But not everybody. Be a better person. I mean, and just in general, be kind to each other. We're on this planet for a short time, and we share it with a lot of people. The best lesson that we can learn is to be a better person today than we were yesterday. Regardless of how great you were yesterday, you can still be a better person. And be nicer to more people. Do something kind. Help an old lady cross the street. You know, tell your parents you love them. Do something, you know. Just be nice, you know. And
feed a stray dog that you might see.
And one nice thing you can do is go to all2real2.com and check out all of our links and maybe, you know, support the show somehow. Share it with a friend. That's a nice thing to do, right, Matt?
Yeah. I mean, I would say so.
Yeah, of course. So, but until next time, folks. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to All Too Real 2 podcast, a Cullen Park production. Produced and edited by Michael E. Cullen II. Music by Matthew Hawes. Subscribe and share the show. Visit us at cullenpark.com.